Lee Simon has been a vegetarian for over 50 years and a vegan some of those years. He does not proselytize. He is certain that the facts speak for themselves. He leaves the decision to each of you. Lee Simon.
Good morning. I'm going to make the case that vegetarianism is now a human necessity. In the past, it has been a free choice in most cultures, but today, the global consequences of not being a vegetarian culture are much too dire to ignore. By the year 2025, next year, 1 year from now, 2 out of every 3 people on Earth will not have enough fresh water to drink. The methane gas animals put into our atmosphere, coupled with the greenhouse gases produced by the use of fossil fuels to transport and refrigerate the meat, are together the cause of melting ice caps that give us fresh water. It's all tied together ecologically. We are in crisis mode. I have no desire or need to tell anyone what they should eat or not eat, or what animals or plants they should grow or slaughter. That is presently a personal choice and must be respected. But I can see governments soon needing to mandate vegetarianism. Imagine how the right wing would react to that. Yeah. There are three sections to this talk. First are the physical aspects, followed by the moral aspects of it, and third are the aspects from the point of view of the animals themselves. The following facts appeared in the magazine Mother Jones in the November-December 2023 issue. The Colorado River Basin includes Wyoming, Utah, New Mexico, Nevada, Arizona, and Colorado. What is happening is that the Great Salt Lake is drying up. It has only 5 years before it becomes dry. The tributary rivers to the basin are drying up. There are 8 dams and 3 reservoirs in the Colorado River Basin. About 40 million people use the Colorado River Basin water. 20 million of them don't even live in the area covered by the basin. They live in distant cities, but use the water from the Colorado River Basin. There is increasingly not enough water to fill the reservoirs, or even keep them full enough. We are using more water than the Colorado River has in it. The reservoirs are close to being empty. That's mostly because farms and ranches use 80% of the water in the Colorado River Basin. The 2 largest reservoirs, Lake Mead and Lake Powell, will be empty in 6 years. This would mean that people in Los Angeles, San Diego, Phoenix, and Las Vegas will have no water to wash dishes or flush toilets or get any drinking water from their faucets. Of the 1.9 trillion gallons of water that flow annually from the Colorado River, 79% of it goes to crop irrigation. Most of that water goes to cows, not to food crops or to cities. Only 12% goes to houses and lawns and swimming pools and golf courses. It takes a large amount of human labor and fresh water to put meat on the breakfast, lunch, or dinner table. One must grow the hay or the grain to feed the animal, Then the animal or fowl must be transported, slaughtered, and packaged for sale, then brought to a far distant market for sale to carnivores. Every part of this is bad for the environment. The dairy cows use lots of land and water. They also belch lots of methane, a greenhouse gas that is 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. Dairy cows contribute 7% of the U.S. methane output, the equivalent emission from 10 million cars. It takes 1,000 gallons of water to make 1 gallon of dairy milk, which is 4 times the water cost of oat milk or almond milk, which use 10 times less land than dairy milk production. To put it another way, a ton of hay uses 450,000 gallons of water to grow 1 ton of hay, which is the same amount of water it takes to supply 4 homes for a year. An average home uses 109,000 gallons a year. In Arkansas, for example, where cotton was once king, the land is now ruled by fields of soybeans to feed the chickens, 1 billion or so chickens. That has come to dominate the region's economy. And Idaho, long famous for potatoes, is now America's largest producer of alfalfa to feed the cows that supply the state's huge cheese factories. Today, alfalfa, a particularly water-intensive crop, used largely for animal feed, for cows that produce milk, for cheese, covers 6 million acres of irrigated land, much of it in the driest parts of the American West. As I said, 1 gallon of milk, cow milk, uses 1,000 gallons of water to produce it. 1 pound of beef takes 1,800 gallons of water. 1 hamburger takes 450 gallons of water. An almond takes 3.2 gallons. We are now in crisis mode. To use over half of the water in the Colorado River Basin to grow hay to feed animals is delusional. Some delusions are such that the deluded don't even know they are deluding themselves. The only way we can prevent the collapse of cities and states is to stop growing hay and start using water to irrigate hay and alfalfa crops. The human labor we use to bring meat to our tables could be used to grow food crops, grain, or vegetables. About 70% of the world's soy is fed directly to livestock, and only 6% of soy is turned into human food. Let us not forget the incredible amount of land that is withdrawn from growing grains and vegetables for us to eat and is used for grazing cows and sheep. In the United States alone, 56 million acres of land are used to grow feed for animals, while only 4 million acres are producing plants for humans to eat. That is not an ecologically sound ratio. It takes 15 pounds of animal feed to get 1 pound of meat. But if the grain were given directly to people to eat, there'd be enough food to feed the entire planet. Vegetarians live about 7 years longer, and vegans, who eat no animal products, about 15 years longer than meat eaters, according to a study from Loma Linda University. The average bone loss for a vegetarian woman at age 65 is 18%. For non-vegetarian women, it is double that. It takes 2,500 gallons of water to produce 1 pound of mutton. We are now in crisis mode. To use over half of the water in the Colorado River Basin to grow hay to feed the cows is delusional. The only way we can prevent the collapse of cities and states is to stop doing that. This is the physical reason for vegetarianism. The next wars will not be about oil. They will be about water. We psychologically distance ourselves from the reality of this. We say, hey, want to go get a burger and some fries and a Coke? We never say, hey, want to go get a ground up slab of dead cow in a bun, some grease sticks and sugar water? We never say that. The employee annual turnover rate in the slaughterhouses is over 100%. The people who work there quit within a year. The actual killers, who are called knockers, are required to see a therapist every 3 months. There are 4 ways in which the animals are slaughtered: by suffocation, by electrocution, by shooting a metal bolt into the skull, and by slitting their throats. As the Beatle Paul McCartney once said, if slaughterhouses had glass walls, we'd all be vegetarians. Now we come to the moral reasons for vegetarianism. The moral issue is this: is it humane to kill a fellow mammal when it is not necessary for survival? Can we not extend compassion to all of our fellow mammals? The bulk of mankind now has the luxury of forgetting the process that puts meat on the table. We don't think of ourselves as mammals. We think of ourselves as human beings. Killing is killing, but it's not that simple. If you pay someone to kill other people for you, it's conspiracy to murder. Or if you pay someone to kill animals for you, is that conspiracy to murder? Or what if you kill bugs? It's all still killing. Most people draw the line between killing other people and killing animals. I draw it between killing animals to eat them and killing bugs. Where do you draw the line? For me, if the animal or bird or fish has eyes and it sees you coming and it runs away, then it's not there. In my mind, it's not there to be killed by you and me. They don't volunteer to be slaughtered. It is hubris, I think, to assume that we are the only species that has feelings. The golden rule tells us to do unto others. It does not say just other human beings. We assume it affirms only other humans. Other mammals and fowl and fish, they're not in our moral compass. We don't think it's immoral to kill them. Yes, there was a time in human history when killing other mammals to eat them was necessary, before the advent of agriculture, 10,000 years ago. Most humans still think that way. For them, whether to eat meat, whether to kill animals, is generally not a moral issue. The animals are not sentient beings. We kill mice and rats and bugs and gophers and many other animals and fowl and fish without any moral qualms. So what's the problem? There is, however, one exception to thinking that cows and pigs and sheep to eat are not on the moral compass. one exception. It goes with the phrase, well, look, they're just animals. We have the right to kill them. They're not like us. We are superior. That is premised on the idea that we are not animals, but we are. We're mammals. To murder the cows and pigs and sheep when it is not necessary for survival is to kill a fellow mammal. That is not kind, and morality is based on kindness. Pigs are packed in so tight that their guts pop out of their butts. 1 million pigs die each year being transported to being slaughtered. In winter, some pigs die frozen to the side of the truck. In summer, they die from heat exhaustion or heart attacks, screaming while trying to get out of the truck. Animals kill each other for food out of instinct, but we do it out of habit. The rationalization we give ourselves is we need a reliable source of protein. That is true, we do. But there are obviously other foods that provide lots of protein. We now have to weigh that rationalization against global warming and the lack of fresh water globally. It's my thinking that the protein rationalization no longer holds up. Morals change as history moves along. The day is coming when it will be morally necessary to stop eating animals. That day is already here. We need to wake up. Being woke, that is, awakened to reality, is not a dirty word. It's the opposite of delusional. Now we come to the third point of view, the point of view of the animals themselves. Here is a story. A pig and a human being are having a conversation. The human says to the pig, I am going to eat you. Says the pig, I'm not certain I heard you. What did you say? I said, I am going to eat you. Ah, said the pig, that is not a good idea. But it is, said the human. I'm going to enjoy it a lot. And you feel entitled to do this, said the pig. I do. Surely you agree, human said. Then the pig asked, what gives you the right to eat me? What do you mean by right, said the human. The moral right. It is to me a moral issue, announced the pig. No, human said, no. It is not a moral issue, it's a biological issue. No way, pig yelled as he stomped his foot. It's biological, said human, because we all have to eat. Then pig smiled and said, there are many fine foods that can provide protein, like eggs and milk and hummus and beans and cheese and so on. Those are not as pleasurable as bacon and ham and pork chops and leg of lamb and steak, said human. So, your only reason to justify eating me is because it gives you pleasure? Is that it? Asked pig. Oh, no, not at all. I have 4 very good reasons why I am going to eat you, responded human. I can't wait to hear him, said pig. Number 1, said human, I have the right to eat you because I can. Pig then asked, so might makes right. Is that what you mean? Yeah, that's it. The second reason is, it makes it right for me to eat you because I am superior to you, said human. Is that so? Replied pig sarcastically. I do not have economic issues or racial issues or gender issues or abortion issues or poverty issues or war issues. I don't have to deal with any of that like you humans do. The human felt he should move on. So he said, my third reason is that what makes it right for me to eat you is that I need to eat you. I need fat, and you have it. Answered Pig. You want to eat me, but you don't need to eat me. Fat is available in many other foods. My fourth reason why it is right for me to eat you, said Human, is that everybody does it. Everyone does it. It is acceptable due to a social consensus wherein nearly everybody agrees it is right. It is right for me to eat you. Then Pig said, we animals don't agree. Furthermore, nobody asked me anything about this. Nobody asked me what I think my rights are, said Pig. Well, I decide what your rights are or are not, Human said. So who gave you, Human, the power to decide, said Pig. I did, said Human. Thank you.